Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I am back. I'm happy to be here, although I'm not happy in this current situation, the state of the forest, but I am happy to be here and I'm happy you're here to join me. If you recall, coming in this way last time was a bit of a feat. I couldn't exactly drive in here. I had to walk because there were so many trees down, and I was probably a little in shock in that last video. And I'm still a little in shock, although things have sort of kicked in as this is now the new reality. I certainly have been reading many comments that have been coming in, and I've been considering all kinds of options out there, talking to lots of people I know, figuring out what the next steps are. And the truth is, I don't have a next step yet. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that I want to saw lumber, and well, I do know that I have a cleanup ahead of me. I don't want to leave these logs here for nothing, or trees, broken trees. I don't want them to go to waste, so I got to figure out something. I'll be sure to keep all of you updated on what that ultimate decision ends up being. The thing I'm going to be working on today is getting access here again. I can't get in here at all, as you can see. And so I'm going to take care of these few trees here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll try to get the trees off of the saw shed. I don't want stuff sitting up there, and I certainly don't want it precariously placed up there. So we'll get that taken care of today. As for all the stuff at the back there, I don't know if we're taking care of that today. That might just be sitting there. I think for the time being, if I just push it back, that's going to be good enough. And as I stand here, I quickly realize that I've got that tree just sort of hanging on too on the edge. I'll have to take care of that. Yikes. Anyways, that's what we're up against. And I guess if I don't laugh, I can cry, and I'm not crying, so let's laugh. I'm going to use the portable winch here today, and if you're not familiar with that, at the end of this video, I'll put a link to my portable winch videos. It's still a relatively new piece of equipment for me. What it is, it's a Capstan winch. So, here it is. One of the things I like about this unit is this case. And so you might recall this from last year, just before winter kicked off, maybe midwinter. But this unit here, it's got a 4-stroke Honda engine on it. You can see that there. And then the business side of things is this winch. And the Capstan winch basically allows you to wrap the rope around this. The rope, as you wrap more wraps around it, you get more friction, and that allows for that pulling force. Now, this unit's got something interesting. You'll see it in action today. When the rope comes in, it essentially goes in here, goes in behind that little piece, wraps around like this. And let's just assume we wrapped it around 3 times. You then run the loose end up through here. And then let's say it pulls this way. I'm pulling it this way. There's the throttle. So I pull the rope, it throttles up, it pulls on the winch and pulls on the rope. Now this actually holds the rope from going backwards. So what's nice about that is that will allow me to hold my position. If I'm pulling on the rope and I stop for a moment, it doesn't just completely unwind off the spool there. It holds that position, holds that tension for me, and then I can pull again, throttles up, and away I go. So we're gonna get that thing hooked up. Before I do that though, I'm going to cut this down, and I'll do the same with 1, 2, and I think that other one's already broken. So 2 for the interim, and then we'll get the third one. And just before we do that though, I'll show you this as well. So there's the strap that can go around a tree, and then what that can do, that can hook onto either side here. Imagine around a tree and hook on there. And then my actual rope is right here. And one of the reasons this bag is handy for me is you leave the majority of the rope in there, and all you're pulling out is the rope you're using, and then you can just fish it back in there when you're all done, and then carry it out here if you don't have equipment. See that arched red pine there that goes up onto the roof? Well, just the top is on the edge of the roof there. The rest of the tree isn't touching yet. I don't want to just cut the base and then have it fall on the shed. I don't want it to damage any more than it has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the winch line from this angle, and then down at the base I'll get the cut started, and then when I pull, that'll break the hinge off, and that'll hopefully guide the tree off the roof so that it falls down there. At least that's the idea. Now I'm going to be using something that I haven't tried before. This is an accessory with the portable winch, and I'll get it shift around so you can see it. There it is there. And so that's going to mount onto a tree, and this is pretty handy for me. I have pretty well an endless supply of anchor points out there. At least I did. I'll get this put around the tree, and we'll put the winch up there, and then we'll get the line up in that other tree. Just get that position so it's pointing in the right direction, and then ratchet strap. Lots of strap here if you had a real big tree. And then here's the winch again. And that's where you'd hook a strap to, but you'd also hook in this location. So it looks like that's kind of slick. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's certainly not a chore to put up there, as you saw. And we'll fire it up, and then we'll get the winch around there, and it'll provide a good pull point. Let her warm up a little. Alright, I'm going to try to pull that one off for now, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll pull this one back a bit. I think I'm starting to like this this tree mount. Because it holds stuff up out of the snow, it's kind of nice for in the winter time. And as you can see, for a first timer, it doesn't really take a lot of know-how. That's it. Right on. That just goes up there. Get one side in, get the other side in. And that's it. Fire her up. Well, folks, we made a little bit of progress, and I think little is the key word here. If I look at the grand scheme of things, this is just a drop in the bucket, but it's certainly enough to get me going. It keeps me moving forward, and I think that's what I'm going to have to look towards. I want to get that sawmill open back up again. I really like sawing, and so I need something positive here. So the sawmill's up in operation. I'm sure things will be looking up. I got a few logs ready to go. I just want to head back to the shop. I have to get the forks. I have 2 sets of forks, but the other set of forks are in that mess over there, and I'm certainly not going to get those out in a timely manner. So we'll get the other set, get them on, and then I can stack these logs up and continue on my way. As you can see, I got to get some stuff off the roof here still, but at the very least I have a bit of an opening on this side. Now I did cut that brush up with the forks. I'll come in, pick it up, and move that out of the way, and then I'll start thinking about how that's coming off there. I have a feeling I'm gonna maybe push it. I don't know. I don't think the tractor will reach that high. And so that's going to be a head scratcher. I certainly don't want to get on the roof yet. Everything covered in slick ice and snow. And then on this side, I still have these to come down. But I think what I'm going to do in this case, instead of trying to pull it off the roof, I think I'm going to try to first off push it. So I'm going to try to push these two off that side of the sawmill. And then hopefully that takes that with it. But obviously I can't do that until this is out of the way and that's froze to the ground. Kind of a challenging situation, but nonetheless I enjoyed myself out here today. And I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and so things are only going to get better. Let's hope. And so I'm glad you joined me for today. If you have any questions about that portable winch, be sure to let me know down below in the comments. I'm still relatively new to it, but it certainly comes in handy, just because you can move it around so quickly and so easily. And obviously with an abundance of trees, you have a lot of anchor points. You don't have to have any special heavy equipment. You just have to have that unit in a tree or something else. That's going to do it for me here today. If you did like this video, make sure to give it the old like-a-roo. Don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully you come back next time and we'll be continuing on our journey of, we'll call it the recovery journey. Getting back to some sort of normalcy. Whatever that's going to look like. See you next time.